Hey everyone, Couch Investor back on our video for today. So let's have a look at the state of Coupang, the so-called Amazon of South Korea, or so we were promised. Now, Coupang made an interesting announcement not so long ago. If you've been following the story with regards to Farfetch, which if you go look up the ticker right now, you will see that you can't find anything. Well, that's because Coupang announced that they will acquire the business and assets of Farfetch Holdings, bringing the future of e-commerce to the $400 billion global personal luxury goods segment. Now, to be honest, I was very surprised when this came out. Funny enough, a couple of days before this came out, a friend of mine asked why Amazon Fashion would not bid on Farfetch, which had a market cap of $200-300 million or so. Why not? To be honest, I had no answer. So when this came out, I was surprised. Now, they say here that South Korea has the world's highest per capita spending on personal luxury goods, which we can confirm on this website how South Korea became the world's biggest luxury goods market. South Koreans continue to stand out as the largest spenders of luxury goods in the world, ranking first globally in per capita spending in 2022, spending an average of $325 on luxury items, compared to the United States at $280 and China 55. And if we go on Statista, we can see that the revenue in the luxury market in 2023 is around $354 billion, expected to reach close to $419 billion by 2028. And so spending $500 million to enter such a huge market maybe is a gamble worth making. Now, I'll read here a couple of comments from Bom King, the founder and CEO of Coupang, and then a couple of comments from José Neves, the Farfetch founder and CEO and chairman. So Farfetch is a landmark of the luxury landscape and has been a transformative force in demonstrating that online luxury is the future of luxury retail. I cannot agree with that. I think that luxury retail will still be done in the large part in person. Farfetch will rededicate itself to providing the most elevated experience for the world's most exclusive brands while pursuing steady and thoughtful growth as a private company. Very important to note, as a private company. We also see tremendous opportunities to redefine the customer experience for luxury clients everywhere. Here comes José Neves. Coupang's proven track record and deep experience in revolutionizing commerce will enable us to deliver exceptional service for our brand and boutique partners, as well as for our millions of customers around the world. Lastly, Green Oaks, a leading global investment firm, brought substantial financial expertise to the transaction and is Coupang's investment partner in this acquisition. Now, to me, when I heard this, I was a bit surprised because if we go to the last earnings call, because remember there was no earnings report for Q3 because of this whole story, the last earnings call, this was said by the CEO. We are confident we remain on track to be adjusted EBITDA profitable and free cash flow positive for full year 2023. Now, if this was the case, how come the company was close to going to zero? Either he's lying or something went extremely wrong in Q3. But hey, let's see what happens. I think that for the price that Coupang is paying right now, it's a gamble worth making. They are doing exceptionally well in South Korea. They're entering the Taiwanese market as well, and the early signs are pretty good. We're going to have a look at that a bit later on in this video. Now, if you want to help me out a little bit, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if not, we'd really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Now, back to Coupang here. It has a market cap of $28.4 billion, a forward PE of 40.9 times. You might say it is pretty high, but you're going to see that the bottom line is growing quite fast. Year to date, it's up 8%. If we look at PE, EV to EBITDA, price to sales in the next 12 months, it's all below its 5-year mean, or in some cases, the 3-year mean. Price to free cash flow sits at 15.4 times compared to 41.9 times, and that's in the last 12 months. Now, it's pretty clear just by looking at this that Coupang is becoming more and more profitable. If you look at the last couple of quarters, Free cash flow positive, return on equity has turned positive as well. Gross profit margin in the last 12 months have been increasing, and so did return on capital. Now, for a company that is trading at close to $30 billion in market cap, generates revenues close to $23 billion in market cap and growing, I mean, maybe this might be a hidden gem. What are the analysts saying here? Well, the average price target sits at $21.6, which makes this a 33.4% difference. If we look at the analysts' expectations for fiscal year 2023, sales growth of 16.7% with an EPS of 25 cents. Fiscal year 2024, sales growth of 12.8% and EPS growth of 78.4% year over year. Then fiscal year 2025, increase another 57.3% for EPS and 13.3% year over year growth for sales. So yes, this company is still in the growth stock category, despite its stock being down 66% or so since it went public. Now, if we go and look at their latest earnings report, we can see here more numbers. We can see total net revenue increased 21%, active customers increased 14%, total net revenue per active customers increased 7%, gross profit is up 27%, adjusted EBITDA up 22%, net income is basically flat year over year. And then when you look at free cash flow for this quarter, well, this quarter last year, negative $202.4 million. This quarter, we are basically at $500 million. And in the trailing 12 months, looking at free cash flow, that was $1.9 billion, an increase of $2.9 billion year over year. How can it increase $2.9 billion if it's just $1.9 billion? Well, it was negative the year before. Then with regards to Taiwan, they're saying here that in Taiwan, they've expanded rocket delivery and helped 12,000 small businesses export their products to a new market over the past year. Then if we look at the earnings call, they said that they launched rocket delivery in Taiwan in October 2022, so just over a year ago. And the offering in Taiwan was scaled much faster in its first year of operation than it did in its first year in Korea. And our app is on pace to be the most downloaded app in the market for all of 2023. So, when we talked about international expansion, of course, they tried something in Japan. A lot of people were thinking maybe they'll go into other markets as well. Well, they launched in Taiwan, and the launch has been extremely successful. Can they replicate this in other markets? Remain to be seen. Now, of course, it being in South Korea, it's now being in Taiwan as well. Yes, there is probably going to be some geopolitical risk attached to it because of that region, and maybe that's one of the reasons why this stock, despite its growing in profitability, still growing revenue, being fairly valued, in my opinion, still going under the radar. Maybe those are some of the reasons. Because if we look at the stock right now, yes, of course, it's done quite a lot since it went public. But I mean, if you look at the overall market is up by quite a lot in 2023. This is basically flat for the year, as we've seen before. It's up 6-8% or so. But if we look at the weekly, it is making currently higher lows, which should be seen as a bullish sign. Of course, on Wednesday, the market in the last hour or two tanked completely. This is normal. You have stocks that are up 50 to 100% in the past couple of weeks. So seeing the market taking a little breather is completely fine. It's actually very, very healthy if you're a long-term investor. No, I don't see this as a buy the dip opportunity just yet. Just because things are down 2%, 5% in a day does not make it suddenly a huge buy the dip opportunity. But for Coupang itself, I mean, the business is doing quite well. It's growing top and bottom line, expanding in other markets and actually succeeding in those other markets as well. And the stock basically doesn't move that much. Now, whatever happens with Farfetch, whether it's going to be a successful merger, partnership, you name it, remains to be seen, but it is a small bet for them to make. If it works out, great. It's a huge, huge market. If it doesn't, then it's 500 million that has gone and okay, add it to goodwill. We've seen other companies do this with way more money. So, I mean, again, it's a gamble worth making. So that will be it for this video. For those that asked for a little recap of Coupang for 2023, and especially now with the news of Farfetch, here you go. If you enjoy this type of videos and if you hold Coupang or if you were a holder of Farfetch, let me know down in the comments below. I still don't have a clear answer when you are now a Farfetch shareholder, what's going to happen with your shares. I don't know, remains to be seen. When I'll have an answer, I'll write it probably in a community note. And if you have an answer, please do write in the comment section below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.